What would you do if you had a $50 million backing for your music career?
Gee, I don't even know how to comprehend that amount of money. I mean, 1 million would be great. 50 million, what would I do? Gee, maybe I'd buy a nice... The first thing I would do probably would be to buy a nice grand piano, you know, so that I can play with it, and maybe buy a really cool guitar. Maybe renovate the studio, but also take a trip perhaps and just try to reconnect and get some new song ideas. I don't know if that would take 50 million.
You could do it all over again. 3 times.
Do it all over again.
Thank you.
Yeah, something like that. But the piano would be high on my list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gee, that's a hard one. I usually do go into my journal to look for song ideas. And I'll draw the line if it gets too cheesy. Like, say, you know, if I usually don't get too cheesy, but if there's something there, you know, like if I'm talking about a cat or something that I don't think people will relate to, like maybe my hamster just passed away. I don't think I'm going to write about that. It's amazing how songs are bridges for communication, for just sharing feelings, and how people come together through a song just to, you know, bond. I think that's an amazing experience. After you finish one album, there's a little voice at the back of your mind that says, okay, what else can I write about? What else can I sing? And it's good to have that geographical space. That's one thing I noticed between Singapore and LA. When I'm back in LA, I could drive for hours in any direction and still not, you know, sort of... I could hit the ocean on one side. I could drive for 2 weeks in the other direction, maybe hit the East Coast. But that whole mental... you know, freedom in terms of the geographic space. It does affect the way that you create things. And I like that when I go back to LA, I have my own space. I could drive to the monastery if I needed to in an hour and a half and just be in the middle of a desert with nobody else around and just center myself and write. That's something I probably wouldn't be able to find here. I feel like I've got one foot in one place and one foot in another, but they all come together to, you know, to make me who I am. And so it's really cool when I come back. I have been forming some relationships too with other musicians here in Singapore, and I think they all come together somehow. I'd say there are more opportunities now for being a musician than back when I was trying to start out. It's moving definitely in the right direction. You get more people who are sort of exploring their voice. And there are more venues where you can actually get to express those views and maybe your creative say. That's something where you don't really see much of in LA. In LA, it's kind of like you're there by yourself. You kind of float or you sink. I mean, you kind of swim or you sink, right? Down here, it's a more nurturing environment because I think we need to develop the music here. It's not like it's already there. It's kind of growing. You know, it's kind of in its teenager years. And it's good that there is support for it. And I hope the support keeps on growing because, you know, it's much needed.